Well, here we are again. Just have a quick look around. I did have some questions someone posed to me, so I'm going to answer them first quickly. The first question was, how long do I keep my lights on for? That's between 7 and 8 hours. I have them on a timer, which is quite a cheap one, and I think it's called by Intech anyway. The other question was, do I use fertilizers? I use peat balls and TNC light, and that's for, I mean, if you can actually look, the Anubias there obviously is doing really well. Leaves are coming down. What my parameters, well, basically the easiest way to understand the way I keep my tank is everything is exactly where it should be for the species. I don't like answering individual questions for that because it gets into a bit of a debate. It's slightly hard water. My pH is just above 7. I use almond leaves, which was the third question, to help reduce it slightly. Just bring it down a little bit to keep a happy sort of medium between all the fish. The other question is, what do I use as substrate? Well, that is Fluval stratum, I believe it's called. It's an active substrate, which is what I wanted for the plants, obviously. Someone asked me what the red plant was, which I'm assuming is that one, because that one's just a coloration of the same thing. Well, that's a tiger lotus plant. Have I had any babies for the dwarf cichlids? No, I haven't. I will be getting some more 3D printed caves, so I'm hoping that will help. How are the endlers doing was one of the, hang on, is that, that's the 9th question I had, which was the endlers. As you can see, let's bring them up here. The endlers are looking quite good. There are definitely two sort of ones, the two colorations really, which are the red and the yellow. The yellow are, I think, females by the look of them. Still a bit small for my old eyes, but they do look like that. Also, do I use RODI water? No, I don't. There's two reasons why I don't. Is live bearers generally like a harder water, so I use Prime, which is Seachem Prime, which is a pretty good dechlorinator, which seems to last forever, to be honest. It's one of the better ones. It's literally a capful for every 40 litres, I believe, so I use that. But I do use RODI in that, and as you can see, the shrimp are doing wonderful. There are some baby snails in there as well. I have made some alterations. That's also Fluval stratum, and I'm feeding them with some babies in there as well. I don't know if you can see them on the leaf, but I do use almonds in there as well for that reason. And there are a lot of babies in there at the moment, so I'm kind of hoping they'll grow up. Right, one of the other questions I was asked, how often and how much do I do my water changes? I give a gravel clean once every 2 weeks. I leave my filter, which is at the moment ranging on about every 2.5 to 3 months, to clean that out, and that's when the flow goes down. I don't like disturbing it. I do a 50% water change weekly. That's on both tanks, which seems to do it seems to work well. This old girl's not looking good. People did notice some white spots. They're not actually white spots, they're abrasions on the platy. Got Grandma Platy there. She's extremely old. These guys are doing okay, as you can see. Very healthy fish. Very inquisitive, these are. The tetras, again, doing really well. They all seem to be getting on well. Now, my feeding regime. What do I feed and when? I feed once a day. I feed frozen one day. This is not all in one go. This is alternate days. So say Monday I'd feed frozen, which is spirulina and a meat. I will say Tuesday do, I think they're called bug bites by Fluval. I love that, which is a dried sort of food. Wednesday I'll do pellet. Thursday I'll do some live, which is normally Daphnia, stuff like that. I will do flake, but please guys, read the ingredients. A lot of the flake stuffs and a lot of the stuff basically has stuff like ash and buffers in there, which aren't very good for fish, and they disturb the quality of the water as well. Right, what's this question here? Oh yeah, sponge filters. What's my take on sponge filters? I don't have a take on them. Take them or leave them. I personally think that they're not suited for a tank that's got plants in. The reason I say that is your plants will do most of the work for you in the respect of nitrates. Your filter will do the ammonia and nitrite. Sponge filters, you see, they collect all the muck and everything and just keep it inside the tank, which is, you know, when you pull it up it just all comes off. But having said that, there's one in there, and the reason being is it's extremely good for baby shrimp. They'll sit there and they'll eat and eat and eat. That's a little lollipop. They're quite good. There's some eggs, as you can see on the back there. You know, so you got to think of how you would set up. I mean, your aquascape can be anything you want, but I'll always have live plants in my aquascape, so that goes without saying. They are of vital importance to the filtration of any tank, and of course the smaller the tank, the harder it is to get a balance in your tank. And what I mean by that is certain changes in temperatures. You know, you can get a lot. I would always go the biggest I could, and be patient. You know, you've got to really be patient. One of the things here is how long do it take to cycle a tank. Well, if you're cycling the tank and a month in you're still getting no results, then you're doing it wrong. There's plenty of videos out there. I'm not going to do one for cycling. My cycling, I basically have spoke about it before. I'm not going to speak about it again. It's very, very simple. What's my favourite fish? I'd have to say endlers. The variety of endler that you can get, you can marry them up with guppies. They're live bearers. You'll never be without fish with these. Having said that, there are plenty of cichlids out there that I love. I mean, I used to breed Jack Dempsey's, convicts, macaras, a lot of the other stuff. But these, look at that. I mean, you can't buy that. You know what I mean? And they get on quite well with each other, so they're quite good. I will be getting some amphibians. Someone has spoke to me about, do I keep amphibians? Well, I've never had an African frog, so I'm thinking of one of them. They're pretty good for that. Now, obviously, what's my favourite? Ah, right, okay. Let me read that quickly. There. So what's my favourite type of food? I like the frozen. I think it's easy. You know exactly how much you're giving. You know, it's not a flake, it's a tablet, so that's quite good. The small pellets now, this is why I do a lot of it. These have really big mouths. These have really small mouths. So again, I need to put different types of pellet. The bug bites they go mad for. But yeah, so, you know, your world's your oyster when it comes to aquarium. So dig in, get yourself a tank. Put some water in, get some ammonia, blah blah blah, whatever you've got to do, get it up and running. Have a little bit of nature in your living room. They're a calming factor. They're great. Yeah, they take, you know, when you get, oh, that was the other question that I got, that I've only got this morning. Clean-up crew. There is no such thing. There is no such thing as a clean-up crew. There are things that will aid you in your normal husbandry. What I mean by husbandry is digging around in the gravel, getting rid of all the crap that's in there, taking out old food, stuff like that. You know, your shrimp will help. I mean, Amanos are very good in a community tank. They're large enough not to be eaten. I would always recommend nearite snails. Ottos, they're another good fish to keep some of the crap away. But you really need to do it. It's on top of there, look, crazy, isn't it? You really need to make sure it's clean, and it can be pleasant. You know, you can really enjoy yourself doing that. I have so much fun just having to dig around, see what's coming up, what's new, what's old. Lots of eggs everywhere, as you can see on the back there. You know, there's lots of things you can do. Anyway, take care, guys. Any more questions, give them a post. Thank you very much.